If the market's got you feeling like that guy, you are not alone. But in today's session, we're going to get to the bottom. And what I mean by that, where are these indexes likely to bounce? Let's jump into the charts right now. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's go. So let's take a look at the charts. That's what I want to take a look at to see what the heck is going on. As we see with the spot, well, this is kind of a classic meltdown, folks. And one of the things I wanted to take a look at is where perhaps could we be getting, where would we find a level that we could potentially rally from? Now, the answer to that question is, let's take a look at the Fibonacci's. And I'll throw this. I don't do this very often for the live stream, but the Fibonacci I want to take a look at is the Fibonacci that shows symmetry of move. So I'm going to take this high here, right there, and I'm going to take it down to this low down here, and then stretch it back up to these highs right there. And as you can see, we are rapidly approaching a 100% extension or symmetric move. And that would put us down at 407.54. And that's where I would place my first alert if I wanted to be trading the leverage GTS, or correction, the spiders. Where could it go after that? Well, look to the next level down. Oftentimes when you get these hard moves down like this, it's going to stop at the 100% or the 1272 symmetric move, where it will basically find support and then do a rebound, or if it's, and so that's the other target I would be putting an alert at, about the $400 level. And then once we're down to those levels, that's when I'll be looking for the reversal candlestick, the momentum shift, and for a trade back up to the upside. As you see, looking over here on the weekly charts, what do we have showing up? Off the 1272, draw a line across, look to your left. Yeah, buyers came in there. The 1618, yeah, more buyers came in there. And then right down here at the 200% retracement, all these levels on the Fibonacci's correspond with a level where buyers came in, and we can take that to mean that there are still pockets of buyers in each one of those levels. And so once we hit that level, it wouldn't surprise me to see a little bit of a bounce. And so that's what I've got for the spiders right now. It is not buyable at this particular time, but I am watching. I've got a 3-line cluster on my market forecast, and I have the TSI in the well into the overbought area, where we could in fact get a really quick rebound from there. On the, if you're first time joining us or just getting used to understanding what we're doing, the 3-line cluster or the 2-line cluster on the market forecast below the 20 line is oftentimes indicative or a predictor that within 1 to 4 trading periods after that, that's when we will get a reversal. So it wouldn't be surprising to see us have that reversal by around the 30th to, or the end of next week. Wouldn't be a surprise. So that's what we've got on these spiders. Let's run over here and take a look at our weakest link, which is the Russell. Now, the Russell, and I'm giving you a little bit deeper understanding of what the heck's going on with these this week, simply because I want you to be prepared, because if I take just the daily and the weekly charts on the Russell right now, it's showing that I've hit and broken through a past level of support, as we see over here and over here. Let me draw those in for you just really quick. Going back to October last year and also July last year. We've ran into that, but we've broken through it. I asked myself the question, where can we expect the next level of strong support to be? I had to go all the way out, and this is a thing you can do, folks, when you're doing your own analysis. If you can't see it on the weekly chart, go on out to a monthly chart and see what that's showing up. And it's sure enough, right there, that bright blue, this bright blue line right here, that corresponds with these past closing numbers here. So at the 155.43 area, that is a strong level of support and maybe where the Russell finds some traction. The lower side of that would be down at about 144 to 145. That's where I would be laying in my alerts on IWM. So what am I looking for? I've got on the weekly chart, daily charts, I've got a 3-line cluster. Great. I have I have a positive divergence here on my TSI, which is also great as I'm forcing down, hitting a newer low here. That's very positive. And I'm getting positive divergence here. That is also oftentimes a predictor of a reversal. We'll see if that in fact does take place. And so what about our buddy, the Qs? If you're attracted to the Qs, hopefully it's for a really good reason. That reason being, the Qs tend to outperform all the other indexes going back some 20 plus years. And so that's why I like to focus on either trading the NASDAQ, the Qs itself, or TQQQ, the 3-time leverage ETF for the NASDAQ. So what are we seeing here on the TQQQ, or correction, the Qs? 3-line cluster. Positive divergence on the TSI, approaching the 200-day moving average at the bottom of a magic fib box that we've talked about before, and price action over here. Now, we are out of sorts or out of sync with the weekly charts. The weekly charts, the momentum has turned over. We just don't know how far it's going to fall. We could fall back down to this uptrend line here, which would be about there. And I'll come in and get you a number on that in a second. Let's say if it falls back to there, that would be a price of about 324, 325. I can also lay in the Fibonacci's, similar to how I did on the, and I want to take from this high up here, down to this low here, up to that high there. And as you can see, we've already hit that 100% symmetric move, and right down here off of the other symmetric move is the 200-day moving average. So there's the 1272. The other thing we can do on this, just is we can also take a look at what about this symmetric move over here. I can still grab that, and where does it wind up at? And as you can see, really darn close to what the existing. And so that gives us some good downside targets for where price actions on the Qs would turn around. I like the 200-day moving average. I'll put an alert in there about the 340 level. Not going to do anything until that alert triggers, and then take a look at it and say, okay, now that we've triggered, has the momentum reversed? Do I have a reversal candlestick? And am I at a level of support? As I said, I went a little bit deeper today than what we normally do, but I wanted to just bring this home for you that one, yes, it's not time to buy, but somewhere within the next, I would say between the next 1 to 4 trading days, we may get an opportunity to buy. However, as long as our momentum over here on the weekly, but as you can see on the weekly, we're still pointing down. We have not reversed, but I do have a 2-line cluster over here. The one area that I really like, here's another one for you. Just pick up that high right there. That was a breakout area. We know that buyers will come in at the 335 level also. So, Anil, what do you think?
Like I said before, we got all sell signals. So I'm just waiting for MACD to turn and show me some positive indication before I get positive.
Okay, well, here's the exciting part is now we get to start taking a look at the stocks that are coming up. If you find today's analysis valuable, please go over and make sure that you have subscribed to this YouTube channel and leave a comment with your thoughts and share the channel. Please share the channel with fellow traders. We're putting out some very valuable information about how to do technical analysis and how to swing trade in a proper way, because my objective is very simple. I want as many people as possible to become master traders. Here's where we're just a real quick update on where we wound up the week. There we were last week. Here we are this week. As you see, just bouncing back from this is, look at the red here, year to date, it became worse. Autopilot trading, we have overtaken the NASDAQ finally, but as you notice here, the Russell is in a bear market. The NASDAQ is down almost 15% from its high, and this high was, not last year, but the previous year, and everything else is working its way down. Dow just slipped into negative territory also. So just keep your eye on that. So with no further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the what's going on with the particular stocks. And we'll be able to answer that question about, are these stocks something you might want to be looking at picking up during the October timeframe? I want to say a big mahalo and thank you to the folks who pre-ordered the book. And I'm getting really good reports in from the book, autopilottraders.com/freedom. Anil, first of all, to everybody who's joined us, if you found this basically the analysis that we provided today helpful and want to delve deeper into the insights and strategies, don't forget to check out the playlist on how to trade in a bear market. It'll appear right up here above the Autopilot Trading logo. Anil, thank you for your valuable insight. I feel kind of silly because almost every one of my picks you were saying, well, I'm sorry, but your system's saying, it's not ready to be bought. And I agree with that.
No, that's what it is. I think my system picks out, waits for a turnaround, and looks like you're buying right there at the turnaround. So that's the beauty of your system.
Excellent. So, and like I said, I'm not ready to buy on those yet. They have, I still have to have my reversal signals, and on each one of those, I'm not getting them yet. So traders, remember, you've got the power to steer your trading journey in the right direction. So remember, join us every Friday when we do our live streams. Trade wisely, aloha, and God bless. Thank you so much, Anil. We'll be